This evening, we have the pleasure of having the Chair of the Transportation Commission give us the annual report from the Commission to the Council. The current Chair of the Commission is a long-standing member, and I believe was a charter member in the formation of the Commission back in November of 1998, and I believe is on his at least third stint as Commission Chair, and that, of course, is our own Philip Cook. If you would, Philip.
Welcome, Phil.
Thanks, Bill. Thanks, Les. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and councilors. I currently serve as Les indicated, I currently serve as chair of the commission, and I do believe it is my third stint at that. The last time the Transportation Commission reported to you was in July of last year. So my purpose tonight is to update you on what we've been up to the last 9 months and where we're headed for the remainder of this year. First, I'd like to acknowledge the leadership of Don Meyer as Commission Chair through last December and his continuing service as a member of the Commission, so thanks to Don. I took over as Chair in January. Since last July, the Commission has continued to work on numerous issues and projects to contribute to a safe and efficient transportation system for all of Moscow's citizens. And hopefully we've continued to provide you with useful advice and recommendations. Among the issues the Commission has discussed over the last 9 months are adequate and safe access to the new Joseph Street playfields on Mountain View Road between 7th and Joseph Streets. We anticipate there are going to be many young folks who want to walk or bike to those fields, and we want to be sure they can do so safely. We also reviewed plans that were funded through the State Community Choices Program to improve pedestrian and bicycle access around Moscow Middle School. The city and the school district are working together to reconfigure the parking lots and bus drop-off areas to make them work better and more safely for everyone. The Commission also discussed and voiced its support for the work of the Moscow Pathways Commission for a pedestrian and bicycle underpass of the Troy Highway at Steiner and White Avenues, and I'd like to thank the Council and Mayor for your support in moving this project forward. The Commission also recently reviewed the ring road concept, or a future system of highways and arterial streets around the outer edge of Moscow, and we provided recommendations to city staff about acceptable changes to that concept as the city enters into negotiations with Latah County concerning adjustments to the city area of impact. And in general, we've discussed many other issues, including street lighting at intersections and vegetation along sidewalks and at intersections. As you well know, the city completed its 2+ year planning effort with the adoption of the Moscow on the Move Multimodal Transportation Plan in October of last year. And the Transportation Commission has spent considerable time since then digesting the information and the recommendations in that plan and deciding which issues it wants to tackle first. One of the recommendations in the plan that the Commission has already asked the city to move forward is on the implementation of a pilot project for neighborhood greenways in Moscow. Neighborhood greenways use sidewalks, multi-use paths, bike lanes, shared lane markings, other signage, and traffic calming to enhance low traffic, low stress routes to encourage people of all ages to walk and bike. City staff has already developed a pilot project route, and we encourage you to support its implementation this year. In addition to neighborhood greenways, the Moscow on the Move plan contains over 60 other recommended actions. The Transportation Commission spent the last couple of meetings earlier this year prioritizing to see what its involvement and interest in those recommended actions are. About half the recommended actions in the plan are either items that the Commission sees a more limited role for itself, or they're items already underway. For example, several of the recommendations are about public transit. Although the Commission wholeheartedly supports public transit, the Smart Transit System has its own board of directors who would more logically take the lead in implementing the plan's recommendations. Of the 30 or so recommended actions where the Transportation Commission foresees a lot of involvement for itself and use of its time, the members are also interested. 2 actions were ranked at the top by the Transportation Commission members and will be the focus of our discussions for the next few months. Ranked first by commission members was active transportation recommended action number 6, which says, and I quote, "Conduct an extensive education and engagement process with the community and business stakeholders to adopt a downtown parking improvement program, downtown bicycle parking improvement program, and/or a citywide bicycle parking ordinance," unquote. So beginning at our meeting on this coming Thursday, the commission will start discussing downtown bicycle parking and how we want to proceed with that recommended action. The second highest ranked recommended action by the commissioners and of great interest in general is the roadway and traffic recommended action number 2, which is, quote, "Construct a full access multimodal bridge over Paradise Creek to provide a connection to 3rd Street and provide traffic calming measures on 3rd Street from the new bridge west to Jefferson Street," unquote. This is an issue that the Transportation Commission had lengthy discussions about a decade ago and was discussed thoroughly by the community in 2008 and 2009 with the writing and adoption of the city's current comprehensive plan. The commission spent its meeting in March refamiliarizing itself with the issues surrounding the 3rd Street Bridge and the 3rd Street corridor west to Jefferson. We also are beginning to look at the types of traffic calming measures that would be appropriate for the corridor. The commission will continue the discussion of the 3rd Street Bridge and corridor over the coming months. While the Transportation Commission will be concentrating its deliberations over the next year on the recommended actions from Moscow on the Move plan, we will also continue to devote some of our time to more immediate concerns that are brought to the commission by citizens or city staff. We encourage citizens to let the commission members know about any transportation concerns they have. And that concludes my report, and I would be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Council Art?
Yeah, you mentioned neighborhood greenways and that one was getting ready to kick off. Where is that?
There's a, Tyler, I'll let Tyler speak to that.
Come up here.
It's hard to describe. It's in the transportation plan. Tyler, you could probably tell.
I can give a rough idea. Tyler Palmer, Mayor, Council. Yeah, we can give a rough idea. The greenways, they're selected based on topography and proximity to key destinations in town, so they don't just take one route. But the idea of the initial pilot projects is to have a north route, an east route, and a south route. So they all tie. It's a triangle that goes from downtown to the Herc and the pool facility, and from the pool facility down to the fairgrounds area, and then from the fairgrounds area back downtown. And so those are we have the 3 initial routes that will make those 3 arterial routes throughout the city.
Walter?
Tyler, I think you're going to report to Public Works Finance possibly next Monday. You were on the schedule and we ran out of time.
Twice.
Once, okay, twice. But
That's correct, yeah, and in that report, we'll have the full map to show the proposed routes.
Other questions?
Thanks for bailing me out, Tyler.
Dan?
Not the first time, won't be the last.
Still, I remember when I was liaison, we talked about the Walk Your Wheels initiative downtown.
Right.
You know, I've seen the signs, and I like the idea. I've still seen folks riding their bikes down there, and sometimes I feel like maybe I ought to educate them, but maybe I might be a little more threatening than most if I did, and I didn't want to cross that line. But I have seen fewer people, though, riding on the sidewalks downtown, and the Sharrows do seem to have helped. Have other commission members noticed a difference?
The feedback I've heard is similar to what there's still people riding on the sidewalk, but there has been improvement with the Sharrows on the street as well as the signs. I've heard lots of compliments about the shared lane markings on Main Street.
Do you guys have any ideas for future Sharrows that, you know, other routes that would help that?
Sharrows are a tool, part in the neighborhood greenway. There'll be some areas where Sharrows are. As we talk about 3rd Street, we'll talk more about. So it's a tool in the toolbox. So there probably will be other places.
Good. Thanks.
Other questions for Phil? We're good. Well, Phil, thank you very much for that wonderful report. And as always, the Transportation Commission is a very, very important commission, as well as a bunch that we have in this city, and we appreciate the work that you folks do.